Hi, good morning. Please, can we wait a few minutes? Let's wait for more people to join the live before we can actually start our training. Okay. Please let's wait a few minutes before we start our training. Since we have just three people live, I'm trying to wait for us to have more people so it will not just be so we'll not have to go back and nobody will be left behind. Okay, I think we should start now. So yeah, today we are going to be talking on digital data collection with Google Forms and Google Sheets. We're going to be talking on digital data collections with Google Forms and Google Sheets. I'll share the material with us, but for now, let's just watch it through my screen. Thank you. So yeah, for the introduction, digital data collection is the process of gathering, recording, and storing information electronically rather than using traditional paper based method. It has become an important part of research, education, business, customer service, and organizational activities. This is more like collecting data, not manually this time. This is like collecting data digitally using technological tools, using AI tools, not the former method of them collecting data manually, like splitting questionnaires and all. But this is like sharing it online. You don't need to go around before you are able to get the data you're trying to get because you are literally getting them online. Please, I hope you're getting me. Okay. So, sorry. So now, and the digital data collection tool we are going to be talking about today is Google Form and Google Sheets. It's Google Form and Google Sheets. So yeah, what is Google Form? Google Form is an online tool, sorry, that allows user to create surveys, questionnaire, registration registration form, quizzes, and feedback forms. It's like a tool that allows us to collect data, that allows us to collect information using 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 with an online tools. It allows users to create different type of questions. It allows them to collect responses without having to leave their abode. All they need to do is just to share it online, look for a way that people can get this questionnaire without having to do it manually. This is like using a technical tool to get data, and Google Form is that technical tool we are going to be talking about today. So now, common uses of Google Forms, conducting surveys and research, collecting customer feedback, registering participants for events, collecting student information, creating quizzes and assessments, conducting polls, collecting applications and registration. So we can use Google Form for conducting surveys and research. So I will not be explaining everything because of our time. We don't have much time on our side. So conducting surveys and research is like, during our final year time, we did this thing, like we were trying to gather information from respondents so we can know so that we can know what we're trying to work on, so we can understand what we were trying to work on then. And that is an example of conducting surveys and research. And then collecting customers feedback, it's like for business owners who wants to know how they need to improve in their business, who wants to understand how their business needs to go better. They just create a Google form with questions asking customers how they feel, and then that is another use of Google Google form. And then registering participants for events. It's like if there's an event and you want it to be like, okay, we would know the amount of people that are coming, so you need to register, sorry, you need to register. You can use Google form, collect informations like names, mail, the time they'll be coming for the event, and some other ones. Collecting student information. You can also use Google Forms to get your student information. You can also use Google Forms to get your student information. It can just be a general information, wanting to know their their name, their exam scores, and all. You can use Google Form for anything. Then we have types of questions in Google Form. Sorry, we have types of questions in Google Form. So yeah, for types of question in Google Form, for the types of questions in Google Form, we have short answers. It is used to collect brief informations, like just to collect names, and then just a question that just requires a line, not more than a line. And then we have paragraph. It is used when respondents need to provide detailed answers. When you want to collect more than a line answer, when you want the question, the respondents to be able to pour their mind, to be able to write more than that. It is not limited, let's just put it that way. It is not limited. Paragraph questions are not limited. Then we have multi-choice question. Then we have multi-choice question. It allows respondents to select one option from a list. It's like it allows them to select from a list of options. You're going to give them a list of options, but then they are allowed to select any one they want to choose. Then we have check boxes. It allows respondents to select more than one option. They are able to select lots of options, not just one option actually. And then we have drop down. It allows respondents to select one option from a drop down list. Oh, shit. It allows the respondents to select one option from a drop down list. This drop down is like this arrow down kind of. I don't know how to explain it well, but it's like an arrow down kind of thing. And then when you press it will not show the full option. It might just show like the title of the option, and then when you click it, it shows the whole option. And then we also have linear scale. It is used for ratings. Linear scale is used for ratings, like to rate something, okay, to know how good it is on a scale of 1 to 5, using stars and all. Then we have date and time. This one is used when collecting dates or specific times, like you want to use it to collect a response on dates, like that kind of date of birth kind of thing, like asking your respondents questions like date of birth. Then now we are moving on to the next, which is creating a Google form. I would actually be practicalizing that. So yeah, to create a Google form, you first open Google Forms, select a blank form, enter a suitable title, add a description explaining the purpose of the form. Sorry, I'm just reading this out. I'm actually going to practicalize it. Add your questions, select the appropriate question types for each question, make important questions required, preview the form to check how it appears, test the form before sharing it, share the form with respondents. So I would be showing you how to create a Google form now. Sorry. I'll be showing you how to create a Google form now. So first we are going to search Google form. And see, we've been taking there, it's Google form sign in. Then we're going to click on a blank form. Okay, so now this is it. Here we have questions, we have responses, and we have settings. Yeah, in this untitled form, that is where you put your form title. That's where you're going to put your form title. So let's assume our form title is, what kind of form title can we use? Let's just assume our form title is, okay, sorry, it's not, we need to first type a word before we are able to cancel the rest. Let's assume we are collecting a data on personal information. Then there's form description. You can use this form description to describe how, to explain your, oh shit. You can use this form description to explain, oh shit. Sorry, I thought I've been sharing my screen. I did not know that. Okay, so we are going to search Google Forms, and then here we are going to, this is it, the Google Docs, then Google Form signing. So we're going to click on it, and it will automatically take us here where we see blank form. I've signed in on my Google Form already, so it just took me there automatically. But if you've not, you just log in, you sign up with your mail. Mhm. So yeah, we are going to put our form title. Let's assume our form title is personal information, like we are collecting a personal information. This this title part, you need to first type a title before you are able to cancel out that untitled form. Then for the description, you're going to write what the form is about. Let's assume we're just writing this form is, was created to collect informations. That's just the description I'm going to be using. And then yeah, where we are seeing this question, we are going to put our question, and then the first question we are going to ask, if we are going to collect a personal information, is name. And automatically they will give you a recommended response mode, like automatically from, it's changed from whatever was there to short answers text, because it's name. And then when it comes to name, when I was explaining, I mentioned that for short answers text is, they are for questions like name, email, and then this place where it shows required, it is to make it to either make it mandatory or to make it voluntary. So yeah, if you click require, that means they are expected to answer the question. Then this plus sign is to add a question. And we had another question. Let's assume the next question is email. Automatically makes it short answer. And then you can also make that one, we can make that one required too. Sorry. We can also make that one required. And then also we can add another question. Let us assume, let's just ask this question like, tell us about yourself. Then yeah, see, it's a long answer text, which is it's a long answer text, which is the paragraph, because you're not just writing a short answer, you are going to be writing a very very long text. Then let's make this required too. Then we can add another question. Let's assume this question is age range. Let's first put date of birth. Date of birth. Automatically it puts the date response. Sorry. Automatically it puts the date response there and required to. It's not compulsory for you to make all your questions required, but you can if you feel like these questions are necessary and they have to answer them all. But then you can just make the ones you feel like are necessary, you can make them required. So let's put yeah, age range. Sorry. Yeah, multi-choice question is what they recommended because multi-choice question is what they recommended because we are going they are choosing from from the list of an option. So let's assume 18 to 22. Then you add that other options if you're going to add another option. Then you can pick 23 to 25, then and so on and so forth. And if the question and if you feel like the you cannot add the old options here, you can just add order. So they choose order, and then if they choose order, they would be able to write their own response here. And this place here, it's where we are able to link our form to Google Sheets, and also the place where we would see our responses. This place automatically shows our responses. And then let's go to the settings. I'm sorry. So in this place it's I'm sorry. Mhm. This place it allows response editing. That means if a response has been submitted, do you want them do you want the respondents to still be able to edit it? You can click on it. But then if it's off, that means they cannot edit a response after submitting. And this place where it shows limits to one response, it means that they can only respond once, they cannot respond more than once. And then this one show progress bar, this is for the response setting. It's like it's going to show the responses in form of a chart. Then yeah, you can do it that if you want the respondents to get a confirmation email after submitting their response, you just edit it here, and then you write you write the mail that you're going to receive. Then yeah, if you want it to be that they responded to the questionnaire, to the survey, if you want it to be that they are going to get a link to another response, which is that part that you when after filling a after filling a form, it just shows, do you want to submit another response? It will just show a link. It allows us to have to be able to submit a response more than once, and that's it on how to use Google Form. So now, collecting data with Google Forms. After creating a form, it can be shared with respondents through a link or other available sharing options. Okay, yes, let me show you how that one is done. So if you click publish, sorry, copy respondent link, that is how you are able to get the link. And then if you publish the form, that means the form is automatically already sent. And if you actually publish it, they would give you a link too. So if you copy it, you if you copy it and share it, your respondents will be able to get the will be able to access the form. And this is the form I just created now. These are the informations contained in the form, and that's it. So when respondents complete the form, their answers are automatically collected in the responses section of Google Form. For example, a customer feedback form may collect customer name, email address, service rating, customer comments, recommendation status. The this sorry, Google Form automatically records the customer's response. Then now we are going to Google Sheets. Google Sheets is an online spreadsheet application that allows users to enter, organize, calculate, analyze, and visualize data. It is similar to Microsoft Excel and can be accessed through the internet. It's like after collecting your form from Google, after collecting your form on Google Form, you automatically link the form to Google Sheets, and then the responses from Google Form automatically goes to Google Sheets. I'll show you that and I'll explain it. Sorry. So uses of Google Sheets. Google Sheets is used for storing collected data. I will not be explaining everything because there are too much and we don't have much time left. So storing collected data, that's like the data that you've collected, it goes to Google Sheets. You're able to store it there, and then no matter how many times you go back, you still see your data there. Then organizing information, you're able to arrange your the data that you've collected, and then you're able to draw your information out of it. Performing calculations, you can also use Google Sheets to perform calculations, to should I say, to analyze the data. Then sorting and filtering data. Sorting data is like sorry sorting data is like arranging the data in an order you want. And then filtering data is like you're going to make the data in a form, in a way that you can be able to select what you want to see. You can be able to select what you want to see. And then creating charts. For creating chart, that's more like for data analysts, not just generally. Then creating reports, analyzing survey responses, collaborating with other people. Connecting Google Forms. Now, the next is connecting Google Forms to Google Sheets. One of the major advantages of Google Forms is that responses can be connected directly to Google Sheets. The process is this is the process of connecting our Google Forms to our Google Sheets. About our Google Sheets to our Google Form. Google Forms, then responses linked to Sheets and Google Sheets. I'll show you how it is done now. Where is our Google Form? Sorry. Okay, so this is it. We are going to go to our response side, the side that shows response, then link to sheets, create a new spreadsheet, and we are going to click on create. So automatically the all questions we put on our Google form would actually show in Google Sheet. So once the forms are being filled, it will automatically arrange the answers here in Google Sheet for us. So let me use this one as an example. Let me fill this. Let's just put any name. Then mail, then age range, then we submit. So automatically our Google Sheets has been updated. The old information I just typed in, the old information I just submitted has automatically gone straight to our Google Sheets. And then the responses has been recorded here in Google Form. So this is the response. These are the responses, and that is how we link Google Form to Google Sheets. That is how we are able to link Google Form to Google Sheets. Then now on to the next, we're going to check the benefits of digital data collection. Digital data collection helps to save time. It's You're able to save lots of time, because instead of the one whereby you go around sharing your forms and all, you just share your forms online, and then everybody fills it, and as they are filling it, as they are answering the form, you automatically get your feedback, and then you're not wasting any time. You can do other stuffs, and then it is fast. Yeah, let's put it that way. Then it reduces paperwork. You don't need physical form. You don't need documents. You are not dependent on documents. You're not dependent on physical form. You don't need to print out the documents in order to be able to share. Then it improves organization. Responses can be stored in a structured spreadsheet. So the information you are getting, once it goes to Google Sheet, it is organized. The informations are organized. Google Sheet arrange them in order. So you don't need to, manually type in information and then start organizing them. Easy collaboration. Multiple people can work with data when appropriate. Different people can work with the data. It's not just accessible to just one person. It is not just it's not just accessible to just one person. Then faster analysis. The data can be sorted, filtered, calculated, and visualized quickly. You can be able to sort the data. You can be able to filter them. You can be anything you want to do on the data. You are able to do it very, very, very quickly, and they are accessible. You can access the data from different devices. When the user has the necessary access, you can access it from your phone, you can access it from your system, because your Google form and sheet on your phone are also linked to your Google form and sheet on your system. So wherever you are, whatever it is you're doing, you can be able to access your forms and your sheets, and be able to access your data. So now these are the few things, best practices. These are the things that you would need to know when when creating digital forms and collecting data. So first one is keep questions clear and simple. Make your questions clear, make it understandable. Make the questions understandable, that you be able to that your respondents will not find it complex, that they will find it easy to process, to analyze. Then avoid asking unnecessary questions. Don't ask questions that does not make sense. Don't ask questions that are not needed. Don't ask questions that does not relate with the form you are trying to create. Use appropriate question type. Don't use a short answer question type for a question that requires a paragraph answer question type. Don't use a short answer question type if you want to say, right, tell me about yourself, because there's no space for the person to explain. There's no space for the person to express their self. Make important questions required. Questions that you know that yes, they are mandatory. Questions that you know they are needed. Make them required. Compulsory, you have to make them required, because most times when people see a question is not required, what they automatically do is they just automatically ignore the question. They don't even respond to it. Explain the purpose of the form. In your description, you need to write out what the form is going to be used for, why they are to fill the form, what you are going to use their form for, and test the form before sharing. Just as I just did, I tested the form. I filled the form, so I know automatically yes, my form is working perfectly fine. So I tested it, and then it is good to go. If I was going to share it out to people, the form is very good to go, because I know it is perfectly done. Then keep collected data organized. That's like linking them to Google Sheets, and then arranging the data, checking it out, and be sure that these data are arranged. Protect respondents' personal information. This one is very important. Confidentiality. People that are responding, people that are filling the form, they automatically believe that their data are kept, that their data are protected, that it is only you who is sending the form out that has their data. So protect their information. Don't share it around. Don't show it to people. Don't have someone come and see this person's response. Only collect information that is necessary. Only collect the information you need. Don't go deep into asking unnecessary question. Then review the data for error before analyze an analysis. Sorry, review the data for error before analysis. Make sure you check out your data and be sure that there is no error, nobody has made a mistake, there's no mistake, and everything is perfectly fine. Then form and sheet workflow. The complete digital data collection process can be summarized as: create Google form, which I did, add questions, which I've already done. I've explained this part, share the form and collect responses. Then connect it to Google Sheets, organize and clean data, analyze data, create charts and reports, use insights for decision making. If in terms of that creating charts and reports, that is more like for data analyst. So we are not going to talk much on that. Then, in conclusion, Google Forms and Google Sheets provide a simple way for beginners to collect, organize, and analyze digital data. Google Forms focuses on collecting information from respondents, while Google Sheets provides a platform for organizing and analyzing the collected data. I have already explained that part too. Learning how to use these tools can improve efficiency in research, education, business, customer service, and many other areas. With basic knowledge of forms and sheets, individuals can move from manually collecting data to more organized and efficient digital data collection process. So, in conclusion, the digital data collection and collection, it's easy. You're able to collect your data not manually. You're collecting your information without stressing. You're saving time. Your datas are already organized. You don't need to start searching them one by one to see if they are actually organized. Sorry. So please, is there any question? Please, if you have any question, I'm going to share the material. I'll share the material out. So please, is there any question? Is there any question anyone wants to ask? Or is there any part we don't understand? I can actually go back to it because like we still have time. So sure. the step for creating Google form. Okay, I'll check. I'll do it now. I'm coming. Sorry, a few minutes. So I'll check. I'll run down the steps for creating Google form now. So I think I would have to recreate a new form. So now let's start it all over again. Let me try. Let me create a new form. So yeah, we are going to type the form title. Let me go slow. We're going to type the form title. So we need to first type something at the front of this. We need to first type something at the front of this the untitled form before we are able to cancel. So form title personal information. Then our description, we put whatever description it is we want to put. Use it to explain your form to your respondents. Then untitled question, which is we are going to put our question. Let us put name. I'm going to put name, and automatically it gives us short answer test. Automatically give us short answer test because that's the best type that befits this kind of question. Then you can make it required if you want. You can make it required if you want it to be a compulsory question, one that your respondent needs to answer. Then if you're going to add question, you press this plus button here. Then you're going to be able to add your question. Then also one more thing is file upload. If your question is like maybe you're asking them for a CV, you're going to use the file upload. You're going to use the file upload. So the next question, let's assume the next question is date of birth. Automatically, it gives us the automatically it gives us it recommends the dates response for us, and we can also make that required, or we might not make it required. So yeah, the response is where your response will show, and then where you link your Google form to your Google Sheets, and that's it. Please, do we understand this now? I have gone back. I've explained Google form again, and please, do you understand it now, Elizabeth? Okay, thank you. Please, is there any other question you'd like for me to answer? Is there any other question you'd like for me to answer? Okay, so in the absence of one, so please, I would like us to actually do an assignment, and it will be creating any form. I'm not going to give you title of a form. It's creating any form. Put the title, put the description, put the necessary information, and then once we've created our form, we link it to Google Sheet. Create any form. I'm sorry. How will I share this? Oh, share. Okay. I would share the slide on the CDS group. I'll share the slide on the CDS group. Please, the assignment: create any form and link it to Google Sheets. Create any form, and I think Mr. Sam asked us to do something last week. For last week class too. But maybe when next he comes on, he's going to ask about that. But I think that's all for today's class. Thanks for coming. since there's no other question and there's nothing else, thanks for coming and thanks for taking your time to join our class. Have a have a nice day, have a blessed day. The recordings are available for anyone that wants to rewatch, or and for those that did not actually that were not able to attend the class. Thank you very much.